Hello! In today's video, I'm gonna guide you through the song Never Enough from the movie The Greatest Showman. That's one of the most requested songs from my students and it's very often used for competitions. So let's go through the song and see how it can make it easier for you to sing it. The song has a huge range, so it goes really low and really high. And because of this, we can't really transition to lower key because the low notes are going to be too low. So you have to have that range to be able to sing it, but you can bring some of the highest notes on the head voice. We are going to sing the song in the key of A flat, starting from A flat. Now, in the beginning of the song, don't start with full force of your voice. Because of the whole origin of the song, people are tempted sometimes to start giving it all from the very beginning. I'm trying to hold my breath, let it stay this way. And by the end of the song, you will be completely exhausted, and besides, it's not gonna have the same effect. You have to have variety in the song. So starting it very relaxed, but still with very good support, nice and gentle. I'm trying to hold my breath. Also bright, make sure you don't go, I'm trying to hold my breath. Nice and simple. Let it stay this way. So the note way, that is E flat, it's going really, really low. Make sure you don't try to dig in this note. Don't go, let it stay this way. Because if you get to this position, it's going to be so hard to get out of there. So it's almost like in the place where you will speak it. Try this way. Just say it first. Let it stay this way. Let it stay this way. Now try not to change anything. Sing it in that position. Let it stay this way. No tension. Can't let this moment end. You said of a dream in me, getting louder now. Can you hear it echoing? Okay, so here everything is in quite a low range. Make sure when you go to getting louder now, nicely open vowels everywhere. Now when we come, take my hand. Really nice and bright sound. Make sure you prepare well with good breath for the word take my hand. Will you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you. Everything so far, it's in kind of moderate dynamic. You don't go too loud. Okay, even take my hand. Still quite relaxed. Make sure there is brightness in the sound. Don't go, take my hand, will you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you, still more simplicity in the sound. Take my hand, will you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you. The next part, we start building up, the emotion builds up, the dynamic gets louder. Make sure you come very prepared. So we go, oh, the shine of 1,000 spotlights. Very good, very clear diction. Make sure that for the word, oh, you prepare beforehand. Don't go, oh, the shine, oh, like oftentimes reaching the high notes with lifting up head. It's a very wrong way. Try to make sure you breathe and you prepare the space. You open your mouth and then feel the space inside of your mouth for that note 1 second before you start it. So prepare. Oh, the shine of 1,000 spotlights. Prepare again. Oh, the stars we steal from the night sky. Now, will never be enough. Ideally, you have to do that on your mixed voice. Don't go to the head. Don't go, will never be enough. Try to still stay on the chest, but don't go too loud. Will never be enough. Never be enough. Feel how ne. The vowel is open sideways and it's nicely nicely supported. Don't push it too much, just let it float. We'll never be enough, never be enough. And this, each time you have the word enough, we have two notes, enough. Make sure you connect them really nicely. Don't go enough, enough, never be enough. Okay? Then we can, towers of gold are still too little. Kind of an accent on the first note. Make sure it's not super even. It's not towers of gold are still too little. Accent on the first note. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it will, again open, never be enough, never be enough. This is longer, the last enough. To maintain the notes steady without shaking, you have to keep the same mouth shape. From like landing on the note and keeping the same mouth shape all the way to the end. Never be enough. With the idea that the note goes forward. Don't sit on it and don't change your mouth shape. If you try to just hold and sit the note and change your mouth shape, it can shake. Let me demonstrate. Never be enough. And it also can sound flat. So a direction forward and the same mouth shape for this note. For me, and then it comes never, 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 for me, for me. Not yet that high, so it's still manageable. I think for most voices, that will be manageable to do on the mixed voice. Use the consonant to really step on the first note. Never, never. Don't go too quickly to the vowel. Don't do never, never. It's quick notes and stay more on the consonant. Never, never. It's just gonna give more of the character. Never, never, never. For me, good breath. For me. And now we're coming to this really challenging part where you may have to go to the head voice. And in fact, I would actually recommend going to the head voice the first time and moving to the mix second time. So the two verses have change in it. So the first verse, it's a little bit more gentle, using more of the head voice. So the first verse, we can go like this. This is the starting note. Never enough. I'm using the head voice. Never enough, never enough, for me, for me, for me. Going more toward the end with a little bit more strength. So you can also, if you like it, you can also go on the mixed voice the first time, but I recommend to save your energy for the end and also take it easy on your voice. So you can go on the head voice the first time, but make sure it's not super breathy. Don't do never enough, never enough. It must be nicely supported and spacious head voice. Never enough, never enough, never enough, for me, for me, for me. Now louder, stay at that volume. Oh, the shine of 1,000 spotlights. Now we have it for a second time, but the emotion is built up here, so don't pull back here. Go with full force in this chest voice. Oh, the shine of 1,000 spotlights. Oh, the stars we steal from the night sky will nicely open, never be enough. Make sure you don't go enough, enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. If you want, you can actually connect it without breath, just to build more on the emotional part. Never be enough. Towers of gold immediately. If that's difficult, take breath there. never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. Pay attention that when we continue, the second time the melody goes up. It's different from the first time. So the second time we'll go. These hands could hold the world, but it will. If you need, you can switch to the head voice. These hands could hold the world, but it will. If it's necessary, just see where you have to switch. For different voices, will be on different places. Now, you can switch only for the high note, for the word. These hands could hold the world, but it will. Or you can switch earlier. These hands could hold the world, but it will. But ideally, stay on the mixed voice. These hands could hold the world, but it will never be enough. Never be enough. Now, this also goes higher. Compare with the first verse. So, you have to try and sing it on the mixed voice, but if you can't, move on ahead and make sure this long high note is steady. I'm just gonna show you first how to do it on the head voice. Never be enough for me. This is nicely supported head voice. You can also try and do it on the mixed voice. Never be enough for me. But whatever you choose, make sure that the support works well. Otherwise, you can hurt yourself badly if you don't use your support. And again, never, at the same, like we talked on the first verse, emphasize on the end. And again, never enough, never. Here it's even more challenging because after the high note, we have again, never. So be very active. Make sure you are very well prepared for this phrase. Never enough, never enough, never. And now we go all the way to the F. Never enough. F. So F on the mixed voice may be very hard. So I demonstrated now using the mixed voice, but if you can't, go on the head. Never enough. On that part. And now, for me. To finish this song on the mixed voice, try and be very prepared, and also try to think about the vowel for me, not to be so much of an E, but more for me. Okay? So you can have a more open vowel, which will help you to have this mixed voice louder. It's gonna be quite hard to go for me. Perhaps possible, but if that doesn't work, try to just open more. For me. Quite long. Still, you have the option to do it on the head voice. And don't worry that the original, it's not, she's using her belting there, but don't worry about that. If you can't do it, rather switch to the head voice than to push and try to sing it on the mix, and then it sounds strained and it's not beautiful. If you can't, just use the head voice. For me. And then there is, it is quite gentle, but after all of this belting, it's so difficult to pull back your voice. So you can try and do it, just do it nice, gentle, sweet voice, very quiet. For me. You can do it really, that can even be more breaky. But you can choose, if that's too difficult to pull your voice back, you can actually go with a little bit of crescendo and let naturally the voice goes back. Don't try to pull it back, because that sometimes it's super hard and it can crack. For me. And the voice naturally will fade away. Don't try to pull it on purpose, because that can be tricky, and if you don't have enough control of your voice, it can crack easily there. I hope this tutorial will help you to master the song. Let me know if you have any questions, and you can comment below the video. See you next time. Bye! If you're interested in one-on-one singing lessons, you can message me via Facebook or LinkedIn. The links are in the description below. You can also check my online singing course on Udemy, Singing Fundamentals and Vocal Warm-Ups.